What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Affiliate Marketing Academy. This is day 2. Yesterday was a lot of fun. We did 2 full hours of a 30,000-foot view when it comes to affiliate marketing. We covered my entire strategy, what I do on the front end, what I do on the back end, how I'm able to generate 6 figures doing various promos. And that was just day 1 of literally a 5-day academy, 2 hours per day. That is 10 hours that we're going to load in, trying to be able to take you guys from beginner to pro when it comes to affiliate marketing. Now, up on the whiteboard behind me, we'll get to this in a minute, but I just want to let you guys know a few little topics that I'm going to be covering today, okay? First, I'm going to be talking about choosing a niche, okay? And yesterday I said, yeah, the word might be niche. You're going to hear niche out of me because I just talk different. I'm built different. So we're going to choose a niche. And what I mean by that is you're not going to target the world. You're not going to say, hey, world, who wants to make money? It's not going to work. What you want to do is you want to dial down and you want to start to relate to a very specific target demographic in all of your affiliate marketing. We're going to cover that. Next, we're going to cover building a brand. And what I mean by building a brand is you have some options. You can build a faceless brand where nobody even knows it's you, or you can build a personal brand where, like I do, for the most part, you guys recognize the orange hat. I always put on the orange hat. That's part of my personal brand. I try to keep my beard around the same. I try to keep my hair around the same. I try to keep my clothes around the same. Everything's kind of familiar. The reason is because when I build a personal brand, it's about building KLT factor, which we covered yesterday. I want people to get to know me, like me, and trust me. If one day my hair is red, one day my hair is green, one day my hair is blue, if one day I'm wearing a suit, the next day I'm wearing a hoodie, then what happens is I'm very, very unpredictable. And people actually prefer a certain degree of certainty when they do things. Right? You don't want to be too volatile. You want to be able to give your following certainty, not uncertainty. Uncertainty actually stimulates fear. Certainty stimulates confidence. And so if you're building a personal brand, it really comes down to creating some type of consistency, some certainty, and give people confidence. If you're creating a faceless brand, you need to create those same things, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the orange hat, the dress attire, the look. It can be through an avatar. It could be using AI tools. It could just be faceless, meaning you can use just your voice, or you could just write a script and have someone else use your voice. We're going to cover a little bit about building a brand, just kind of share with you the different options that are available, and you're really going to need to find what works for you. We're also going to talk about creating value. So when it comes to making money in affiliate marketing, what I have found that works the best is the idea of value, 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 pitch. Value, 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 pitch. Gary Vaynerchuk sums this up as jab, jab, right hook, right? He talks about, the jabs are the value, the value, the value, the value, and then the right hook is the actual close, right? So there's a lot of different methods for this. I just like to make sure that my value ratio is extremely high, my sales ratio is extremely low. Because what's going to happen is, I'm actually going to dive into the whole psychology behind that in a minute. But what's going to happen is you're going to get better results, and I'm going to explain why. And I'm going to break down the process at the fundamentals as to why. But we need to be value-driven in this community. That's what I'm going to teach, and I'm going to preach. Over here, pre-qualifying leads. So another thing we're going to talk about is, what is your role in this whole thing? Like, what is your job? Your job is to simply go out there. You are the messenger, right? But you are not the message. And so today we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between being a messenger and a message. And we're going to talk a little bit about defining your role. What you're really going to enjoy out of this training is that your role is actually very simple in affiliate marketing. A lot of people tend to overcomplicate it, right? I've used the analogy a lot of times that all you got to do is run around the track and here's $1,000. And people will just complicate it. They'll be like, well, do I have time to go get my running shoes? Or, well, I was going to start running around the track, but then I realized that what if I don't have water? And then they're like, well, then what happens? People will just complicate things. They'll think of problems. They'll think of reasons why they can't make it around the track. I tried running around the track before and it didn't work. That person ran fast. See how fast they ran? They ran 5 minutes for the whole mile. I can't do that. It would take me 20 minutes. I wouldn't even be able to run the whole time. That people will just make excuses, right? So what we do as humans, we tend to complicate things. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to try to simplify things and just assign some roles to you that are very, very simple, very, very easy, and will get results. And I'm going to show you how to pre-qualify in the front end. You are the messenger that pre-qualifies leads. Next, we're going to talk about driving traffic. Now, I'm not going to dedicate the whole day to driving traffic because I think I'm going to pretty much talk a lot about traffic tomorrow. And traffic is a topic that we could talk about for weeks on end and never run out. It is a dominant topic. We all need to learn it. Traffic is the name of the game. You're a messenger, but if you can't get people that want to hear about the message, then it's not going to work anyways. It doesn't matter how good of a messenger you are if there's no people, right, to be able to go deliver that message to. So we're going to talk about driving traffic. I'm just going to give you kind of a broad overview. I'm going to paint you a big picture of it, and then probably tomorrow we're going to dive into a lot of specific strategies. We're going to wrap up the day with income-producing activities. Now, maybe some of you have heard me talk about this before, but some of you are probably watching this as a replay on demand, and maybe you've never heard me talk about income-producing activities, IPAs. And IPAs are just, they're the blood that keeps everything flowing, right? Like what happens if you're not doing IPAs, you get cold. And if you're not growing, you're dying. And if you're in, it's important that you keep growing. And the only way to really keep growing is to focus on income-producing activities. Today, I'm going to give you kind of an overview of what they are in general. I'm going to give you an overview of the 80-20 rule. And then I'm also going to give you some examples of income-producing activities versus non-income-producing activities and how to be able to delegate your time. My outcome with that is to be able to show you how you can leverage as little as an hour a day to be able to create a 5-figure monthly income. So, and I've done this many times before. I've just, in fact, a lot of times in my life, I'm super busy when an opportunity comes along. Some of you might be familiar with this. You might have a job. Maybe you have a job, you work 40 hours a week. Maybe you have children. Maybe on top of that, you're part of some social things. If you're married or have a spouse, you got to dedicate some time to the spouse, to the family. So a lot of you can probably relate to maybe only having as little as 4 or 5 hours a week. Well, it's completely possible to succeed in 4 or 5 hours a week at anything, but you have to get good at managing your time. You have to figure out, if I have 4 or 5 hours, what do I spend that time on? So that's exactly what we're going to cover. Now, real quick, before we dive into that training, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on over here, and I'm going to real quickly just share my screen and just do a quick little walkthrough. Just to remind people, at the time that you're watching this, if you're watching the replay, then what's going to happen is you're already going to have access to all this if you're watching the replay. But since this is day 2, these things are just rolling out. So for some of the live members right now, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of share some quick updates, some cool stuff. Okay, so real quick, we are going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so what you're looking at right now is, and again, if you're watching this on demand, if you're watching the replay, you should already have access inside of here. So what we're looking at is, we are looking at the Atlas Academy members area. And I just want to remind everybody that it's pretty simple. You're going to log in and you're going to be able to go through these tiers. If you're a free member, you're just going to have the free member access. Once you upgrade a builder, these will all become unlocked. Once you upgrade a creator, these will become unlocked. Once you upgrade a mentor, these will become unlocked. There's a team vision, Facebook group support, tutorial videos, and more. A welcome video at the beginning. And then, of course, we also have a Facebook group with some really cool posts. You know, these are all, if you're watching kind of live right now, you're excited because these are all the new stuff, you know, celebrating the wins, asking all your questions, and introducing yourself. And if you're watching on replay, it's going to be kind of cool to see that these posts are brand new and haven't been used yet. We're going to see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments on them. And so I wanted to share this real quick, just to kind of give you a brief little overview for everybody. And what I mean by that, by the brief overview, is simply this. This is all a bonus. Everything that we're doing here in Team Atlas is essentially free, right? We're piggybacking a bonus on top of the internet income system. Everything we're doing inside of Team Atlas is a bonus. These trainings are bonus. It is so cool because internet income system was already excellent on its own. And what we're doing is we're creating a community, we're creating a culture, we're creating a team where we all have a better chance at winning, a community online where we can help each other, a membership site with extra trainings like this right here, extra teachings, extra coaching, extra mentorship. The reason we're doing all this because we want to help you succeed. And so if you're watching this on demand as a replay, I just want to let you know, you probably already have access to everything. And if you're watching live right now, I just want to let you know, you're about to gain access to a lot of extra value on top of these Zooms. I am so excited for you. So stay tuned for some emails to be able to come out, to be able to give you access. Okay, Mike, cue up the camera because I'm going to go ahead and kind of move over to the whiteboard for some of this session. I may share my screen again. I may do stuff. And for the time being, let me go ahead and throw you guys in the background. I like this view right here. I like being able to see all these friendly faces. Look at all these different pages full of people. Appreciate everybody. I'm gonna take a quick second, look at everybody. You got the second half of people that don't turn on their cameras, and you got the first half that do. So first thing I just want to say is I appreciate every single one of you. Around here, we call ourselves a family, right? We're a community. We're a family. We're tight-knit over here. We help each other succeed. So that being said, let's kind of dive into it, okay? So let's go ahead and we're going to start with choosing a niche. Okay, so we're going to start with choosing a niche. Now, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about it, and we'll kind of draw some things up, but mostly I want to keep it as simple as possible, right? So what is a niche? A niche is essentially the way that I would define it, okay? It is a smaller, more tight audience of people that are all interested in a similar thing. It could be something super microscopic, such as, basket weaving, You could build a niche in the basket weaving business, or ant farming. There's people that have ant farms and collect or worm farms. There are people that are beekeepers. So I just want you to think of all these little things out there are these little micro niches. Now, what happens is that in a micro niche is you get a passionate audience, okay? Passionate audience. And now this is the key to success in affiliate marketing. And this works with everything, not just our system, by the way. These are principles that will work in anything you ever want to promote. So let me give you an example. I want everybody right now to think of something in your life that you do, let's say as a hobby or for fun or when you're not working. It could be anything from maybe you're a movie fanatic. Maybe you love watching lengthy TV series, that have like 7, 8, 9 seasons. Maybe it's a sport, right? Maybe it's activity related. Maybe it's maybe you collect things, right? Maybe you collect, baseball cards, or maybe you collect coins. Okay, I want you to think of things, and then what I want you to do is I want you to go in the chat if you're live right now, and I want you to just start throwing out things that you're passionate about, not just things that anybody's passionate about, things that you actually find that you have some passion about, that you've taken some time in your life to be able to really research it, understand it, you're knowledgeable, and it might be something weird. It could be something weird, right? We all have these little niches, these little things that we are excited about, that we're passionate about. I'll give you an example. Back in like 2007, pretty sure it's 2007. My friend had a wedding, and I showed up to his wedding. But one of the things the guys did was we did this like bachelor party thing. It wasn't nothing crazy, but just a bunch of guys out drinking. And what we did was we went out and played golf. Now this is back well over a decade ago. I used to drink back then. I haven't drank in probably 7 years, but we went out golfing. I never golfed before in my life. Golf is like a sport that was crazy to me. So every time I'd go up to the tee box, I'd hit a ball, it would go to the right and would hit a house, And basically I bought a pack of like 8 balls or 9 balls, like 3 packs of 3 balls. I bought 9 balls. I figured that'd be fine. I lost all my balls at the turn. You're supposed to play 18 holes. I ran out of balls at the 9th hole, and I had to go to the clubhouse and buy 9 more balls. So I had to use 18 balls to play 18 holes of golf. Okay, that's how bad I was. And not only that, but we were just belligerently drunk because we weren't there to golf. We were there for a bachelor party, right? And so they're driving. I just thought the most fun thing in the world was just doing donuts in the golf cart. Things you're not supposed to do. Now, the reason I tell you that story is because my friend said, "Hey, that was fun. We should go out golfing again." And I was like, "Sure, that was fun." Then I went out golfing again. This time I wasn't drunk. This time I tried. And then I was like, "Wow, this is frustrating. It's hard." Then I went out golfing again. Then I was like, let me go to the driving range, just put on some music and just practice. And next thing you know, I got hooked on golf. And I started going to the driving range 2-3 times a day. I actually don't tell anybody, but I actually took a bucket of driving range balls home with me in the car. Don't tell nobody, okay? I owe that place probably $5 for that. And I just set up a little basket, and I started chipping balls in my backyard. And I could make, out of 20 balls, I couldn't make a single one in the basket. But after like a month of doing that, just in my spare time, I could make like 5 out of 20 balls in the basket. And suddenly I started getting good at golf. Then it became like a game. I wanted to break 100. I wanted to break 90. I wanted to break 80. I just wanted to keep getting better and better and better. I found something that I was passionate about. And because I was passionate about it, it consumed me. I started watching golf videos. I started watching YouTube videos on chipping, on putting, on form, on driving, on how to be able to get a better swing around your waist. All of these things started becoming fascinating to me, and it was a world I never knew existed. It got so much that I would watch every golf tournament. I would watch the Masters. I would watch the US Open. I would watch the PGA Tour. I would start fanboying on golfers. I would watch and I would be like, I want to see Tiger Woods play, or I want to see Dustin Johnson play, or whoever it might be. I wanted to see him play. I started going to golf events. I started attending. I started walking around and just watching players play. This example story is so important in the world of sales and marketing, because once you understand that that experience that I went through is a similar experience that you've all been through with something, okay? And if I went through that, how many other golfers have ever got the golf bug? How many other people are in that phase right now where they're just like, they think about golf all the time. They think about going out and golfing all the time. They think about getting better. They think about things. They're buying equipment. Those people are very easy to sell golf-related stuff to. Now, then what happened is, eventually I kind of fell out of it. I mostly go to Top Golf now. Just a little course, whatever. I don't go golf anymore. I still like it, but right now would be a hard time to sell me something golf related. I'm not going to buy a glove. I'm not going to buy, golf shoes. I'm not going to buy a new polo. I'm not going to buy a bag. I'm not even going to spend money on green skis. Right now, I'm a hard sale because I'm not in that passionate audience right now. Now, I may drift in and out of it. I might get back into it. But what you're looking for is you're looking for people when they're in that passionate phase, when they're in that passionate point of life, they are just looking to dump money and spend money in that area. And this is the same with any example. Let's say somebody wants to lose weight, okay? And they get on a keto diet, okay? First, they're going to do some research. They're going to learn about it. And then they're like, okay, I want to try this keto diet. There's going to be a phase where they suddenly get passionate about things related to keto. And during that window, they are going to want to buy keto-related things. But maybe they fall out of it. Maybe they end up moving on to something else and giving up on it, right? This is how these niches work. There is the broad niche of anybody that kind of like has an interest in keto. And then there's the hyper niche, which are these people are passionate right now and they're in the looking zone. If you can get good at finding people that are passionate and in the looking zone and promoting an offer related to that passion during that window, you can make a fortune. And I don't mean make a sale. I don't mean earn $100. I mean, you can make millions of dollars if you can get good at figuring out how to market to people when they're in that window where they're hyper passionate about a very specific thing and you have an offer that is very good, right? So what you're looking to connect this passionate audience. So you're looking, there's going to be a window of opportunity. Okay. We're going to call this the window of opportunity. Okay. There's a window of opportunity. We're going to kind of make it look like a kind of a window here, a window of opportunity. And if you can hit that right window of opportunity with an offer that solves a problem, right? If you can get them at that during that window, so you're gonna find a niche, you're gonna get the people that are passionate during the window of opportunity where they are hyper engaged in something, and you're gonna hit them with an offer that solves a problem. Now, it doesn't even have to be an offer that solves a problem. This list will buy anything. Like, let me give you a random example. Okay, so there are communities online that pretty much for everything, right? So there's like the flat earth community. There's people that are like, hey, I'm a flat earther. I believe that the earth is flat, not that the earth is round. There's a government conspiracy, things like that. They go down a rabbit hole of, YouTube videos or people trying to do experiments, trying to say, and they look outside and they say, I don't see any curvature. And they start going down this rabbit hole. What happens is they start, and as they go down the rabbit hole, eventually they become hyper passionate, right? Hyper passionate. During this time, if you were able to target those people during the time they're hyper passionate with, like, let's say a canvas with a, I'm going to show you one. Let's say a canvas with a flat earth on it. Let me grab one real quick. Hold on. I'll have one example. Mike Noah always gets mad at me when I pull these off the walls. Let's see. All right, this is a canvas right here, right? So this is just it's just a simple canvas. It's just got a magnet. Don't worry. Mike is like, why are you always pulling stuff off the walls? So what if this, for example, this is just the album cover for some music I did. What if this was a canvas of a flat earth? Just imagine like you could Google like a diagram of a flat earth, right? Well, normally this is going to be hard to sell. This is just a flat earth map on a canvas, right? For $40. It's hard to sell. If you try to run ads, you're not going to sell it. If you try to promote it, you're not going to sell it. It's a difficult thing to sell. However, if you're able to target somebody during the window of opportunity where they are hyper passionate about flat earth in that moment, they'll spend $100 for that. They'll spend $200 for that. And this sales psychology is extremely important because it directly applies to affiliate marketing. It directly applies to making money online, whether it's e-commerce, like selling something, or whether it's promoting an offer or whatever it is. At the end of the day, all you're doing is you're looking to find a passionate audience, get them during a window of opportunity, and then solve a problem or just give them something exciting to fuel their passion. I'll give you a couple more examples, then we're going to keep moving. A couple more examples would be like, let's take some sports. I use golf. Let's take like bowling, right? I'm not passionate about bowling. I like bowling, but I'm not going to buy a bowling ball. I'm not going to buy a what's it called? Like the little, the towel you wipe the ball down with, and it's got your little initials sewed on it, or your team, a team jersey, or I don't know, you probably got things to wax the balls with, or you probably got, you probably got gloves, certain glove. There's always stuff, right? I'll go bowling for fun a couple times a year, maybe. But then there's people that literally are in bowling leagues and like they go several times a week and they're all trying to get to break 300 or hit 300 or get all strikes. They're just hyper passionate. They think about it. They talk about it. When they're with their buddies, they're drinking beers. They're talking about bowling or billiards or pool or I don't know, any sport, curling. I don't care what it is. The point that I'm making is that when these people are passionate, they are buying products in that niche. When they're like me and they're not passionate, you're not going to sell it to me. I don't care if you discount your bowling ball 50% off. I don't care if you have a Black Friday sale that says, this bowling ball is normally $200 and I'll give it to you for $10. I'm still not going to buy it. But the passionate audience, you can discount it from $200 to $180 and they will just flood to it. So I want you to understand the psychology and I want you to think about what niches do you feel comfortable in? What niches do you start to feel comfortable in? Okay. Once you kind of understand this, then the question is, okay, when it comes to choosing a niche, now the question is, you got to learn a little bit about something called bridge marketing. Now, I'm going to change the pen colors. It's not just two black. I'm going to go to bridge marketing. So bridge marketing, I'm going to write it up. Bridge marketing. The next thing you have to understand when it comes to choosing a niche is that you are looking for, and it doesn't have to be one niche. You don't have to be only in one niche. You can have a lot of different niches, but you are looking for niches specifically that are easy to bridge. I'll explain that in a minute. Easy to bridge into the offers that you're already set to promote. For example, let's say the offer right now is Atlas Academy, right? We're partnered with the Internet Income System. And let's say you want to sell the $20 a month membership. So if you want to refer somebody to $20 a month and they are hooked on flat earth, how are you going to do that? Right? You're not just going to, if you just go to them and say, hey, flat earther, you're super passionate about flat earth. Instead of selling them a canvas with the flat earth, you're like, you're passionate about flat earth? How would you like to be able to spend $20 a month to learn about internet marketing? It doesn't work. So now you have to learn about the bridge. Okay, the bridge works like this. I used to like draw like islands or whatever. I'm just going to keep it real simple right now. You guys get the analogy. Okay, I don't need to go into art mode. But the bridge is going to work like this. It's super simple. Okay, over here, you've got the niche. And over here, you've got the offer. Okay, you got the niche and you got the offer. Now, what happens is, A lot of the hyper niche groups out there are not necessarily the exact right fit for your offer. So you actually have to create a bridge. Okay, so like you got to imagine like that's like water, right? There's a disconnect, right? They're separate, like two separate islands. There's a disconnect. They're not going to buy. They're not going to convert. You're not going to make any money. It's going to be a waste of time. You'd be better off just selling things to the niche. You'd be better off doing that. But there is bridge marketing. Bridge marketing exists. Bridge marketing is where you actually build this bridge, right? You build this bridge to be able to go through. I swear, every time I go live, my phone just buzzes nonstop. It's crazy. I don't get calls ever. Just between 4 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, Pacific time. So you got to bridge. You got to build a bridge, right? So I don't know. This put some sustainability here. I don't know how to make a bridge sustainable. Okay, you got to build a bridge. Now, let's experiment real quick with some hypothetical examples, just to kind of give you an example. So if somebody were interested in, I don't know, let's say somebody were interested in bowling, since we use that, or golf. No, we use golf. I'll use golf as an example. Someone's interested in golf. Now, if you had a list of, I'm going to give you like even better example. Let's say that I have a fan page with 1 million fans that is hyper engaged on Facebook, and it's all about golf. And you're just like, wow, you run an amazing community. And you have an offer to sell Atlas, the internet income system mixed with Atlas. That's your offer. You come to me and you say, hey, I would love to be able to work out a deal to be able to promote this to your audience on this golf page. You have a super hyper engaged audience. I think we can make some money together. And I go, sure. What's your offer? Now, here is our homework assignment. We have to figure out a way that all these people in golf are going to want to buy this offer. Because if we just blanket promote this offer, they're not going to buy. So you have really, what marketing really is, it's really about bridge marketing. It's about taking your offer and customizing it for each niche, right? So this is tailored, customized to the niche. See that? We got to take the offer, we've got to customize it to each different niche. Oh, that was cool. It was some brand new video equipment, camera equipment showed up, man. We good. We got some stuff coming down the pipeline. It's gonna be awesome. So how do we do this? How do we take Atlas? How do we take the internet income system? How do we tailor that to golf? How do we tailor that to bowlers? How do we tailor that? You know, if you can get good at tailoring it to these micro niches, it's going to get easier to tailor it to obvious niches. Okay, so we're going to start more obvious. Anybody who's already an entrepreneur, anybody who's already self-employed, anybody who's already a business owner, anybody who's like a network marketer, anybody who's an independent contractor, right? A network marketer is an independent contractor. A network marketer already wants traffic, leads, and sales so they could grow their network marketing business. Atlas sells training on traffic, leads, and sales. So that right there is an easy bridge. Here's some training to help you get traffic, leads, and sales to grow your network marketing business, okay? We're going to start with some simple bridges. Now we're going to get more complex. Another simple bridge would be like real estate agents, okay? A real estate agent needs to go out there and find some buyers, find some sellers, get their name, get their brand out there. What if you went to a real estate agent and said, let me ask you a question. If I was able to show you how to be able to get more traffic, leads, and sales online coming in every single month, is that something, if I had a strategy to be able to do that, is that something you'd be interested in? Of course. There's no real estate agents that would say no, right? So now you say, okay, well, here's Atlas. And then basically the pitch for Atlas is simple. $20 a month, training 5 days a week, 2 hours a day to teach traffic, leads, and sales, to teach these principles, to be able to go out there and market. Absolutely. Becomes an easy sell. So you start with these little smaller niches, which go, when you're choosing a niche, the choosing part is, I would say, start with something simple. What micro niche groups are people passionate about that they need traffic, leads, and sales in order to be able to benefit themselves? You don't want them to leave their passion and come over here. You want them to show how this can help them where they're at, right? We are not trying to pull people away from their passions. We're trying to provide them with resources to help them do what they already love, because they should be cashing in on their passion, right? You're a real estate agent? Man, if we could figure out a way to turn on the traffic, leads, and sales for you, boom, you could be the most successful real estate agent in your entire brokerage. All with traffic, leads, and sales coming from online using modern day strategies, which we teach inside of Atlas Academy. It becomes an easy fit. Loan officers, insurance agents, anybody commission-based, anybody that has products to sell, anybody that needs traffic, leads, and sales. So the first assignment I would give is I would write down a list of all the different niches, micro niches that you could think of where people would actually benefit from training on how to get more traffic, how to get more leads, and how to get more sales for their business. And I would make a list, if you could, 20, 30 different niches, demographics. You could probably even go on ChatGPT and ask for some advice. But I would start there. I would start with list number one. What are the most direct niches that would benefit the most from this? Then we're going to go one level. We're going to peel one layer away, and we're going to go to the second group. The second group is going to be, well, they're not necessarily looking for traffic, leads, and sales directly, but they still would benefit from it. An example now would be like a pizza shop or a gym or a blogger or a social media creator. Anybody on social media that's trying to build a following. These kind of things. Maybe they're not specifically saying, I got a product to sell and I just need traffic and leads to sell it. Maybe they're a social media person, right? My leads are my followers and I don't have anything to sell. I just create content and maybe Google or YouTube or TikTok pays me. Well, all of these people actually probably are interested in creating a digital product so that they can make more money, cashing in on their passion. Their passion is building up their social media accounts. So one layer deeper, you start to get all these different things. You got physical businesses, any car dealerships, any of these types of things. It doesn't have to be an actual business. It could be groups of people too, right? So now you're like, okay, maybe those people aren't looking for traffic, leads, and sales per se, but they're obviously open-minded to it already. Again, a pretty easy bridge. That will be a pretty easy bridge, right? So maybe the social media content creator is just more interested in creating content. But if I were to come to them and say, make a little bridge video that said, hey, are you a social media creator that has a lot of followers, but you're looking for more ways to monetize? Maybe you're getting platform revenue, maybe you're getting some sponsorships, but there's no real good deals. You're not really totally happy. And you want to figure out how to be able to monetize and make more money from your following. Well, I can show you how to be able to create your own digital product and how to be able to market it to your following. And not only that, beyond your following. For example, I can show you how to run retargeting ads. Everybody that consumes your content, you can run ads that follow them around the internet everywhere that they go, selling your product. And if you can run those ads at a profit, then that's scalable. And you could turn a simple side hustle into something that makes tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands per month if you do it right. So if I give you a free video that would kind of show you how to be able to create a digital product that you could be able to sell to your social media following, is that something that you'd be interested in? There's a bridge. You understand it's about putting yourself in their shoes and figuring out how your offer can help them, right? I'm not saying you should sell them the offer. I'm just saying you are just looking to reach out to an audience and try to create interest. Once you have interest, then you funnel them off to me or to Atlas, to a system, right? You don't need to do the telling. You don't need to do the selling. You don't need to explain anything. But that's where these little bridge marketing comes in play. That's where like little bridge videos come in play. You're able to take a standard offer, create a series of bridge videos, and market to people based on that. Okay, so always put yourself in their shoes. Like Mila said here, WIIFM is the radio station everybody tunes into you, which is what's in it for me. What's in it for me? You want to put yourself in their shoes and try to figure out what are they looking for in their life that would help them. You solve that problem. You figure out what that problem is, you solve that problem, and now they're interested. Now they come over here. And here's what happens. Eventually, they're going to end up coming over, but in the short term, they're coming for some information to help them doing what they do. But as they come here and they become part of the community, what's going to happen is they're going to say, hold on, this is awesome. Like this, I know people that would love this. Now they come on and they start upgrading. They start buying more products. They start referring their friends. They start making a side income. They love this passionate community. They still have their hobby. They still have their passion. But now they really love this community because they've gotten a chance to be able to experience it. So rather than coming at them right off the bat and being like, here's what you need to do. You need to go all in. You need to buy builder, creator, and mentor. You need to learn this compensation plan. It's too much. If you just solve their problem and introduce them to the system that's super inexpensive that can help them in what they're looking to do, then what happens is they'll be indoctrinated into the community. They'll love what we do. They'll see what we do. They'll see that we're real. They'll see that the training is very, very valuable and it's helpful, and they'll want to be part of the program. It's just how it works. That's because you're just delivering value. You're just the messenger that's connecting them to a community full of value that can help them. And eventually they'll probably come on here and be like, well, hold on, I can make 10 grand a month here. And then then I'll have extra money to be able to build my own bit. But right now I could do this right now and it's instant commissions over here. See what I'm saying? It's just smart. It's just smart. So you start layer 1, who directly needs traffic, leads, and sales? What niches? Okay. Layer 2, who could benefit from traffic, leads, and sales, but they don't necessarily know that they need it yet, but they still would benefit from it. Now, layer 3, niches this is where the vast majority of passionate audiences live. Niches that are not involved in making money online at all. But these are the most super obsessed, passionate audiences. It's crazy, right? They're just super passionate. You take anything, you take gardening. There's people that just every single day, the thing they love the most is gardening, right? That's what they love. That's what they love to do. There's just things out there. Now, those niches are harder to create a bridge for. And I'm not going to be able to give you an advanced session on bridge marketing. In fact, bridge marketing, you can kind of see could be its own week. We could do a whole bridge marketing academy. But the concept is so pure, which is if you can figure out a way to be able to create that bridge for beekeepers, for bowlers, for nurses, for fans of The Walking Dead TV show, for all of these different micro niches, if you could find ways to be able to create a bridge where they come and they go, well, wow, this can help me with what I'm doing, then it just becomes game over. So that's where you want to get. That's the advanced level. So think about it as like beginner, intermediate, advanced. Beginner, direct matches. Who's absolutely right now desperate for traffic, leads, and sales? List those niches. That's beginner. Intermediate, what's the next layer? All the influencers out there, all the social media creators, all the business owners, all this kind of stuff. Then the last layer, the third layer, is the super hyper passionate audiences in small little segments. People like, and it's not even small. You can go big. You could go like Republicans would be a niche. Democrats would be a niche. Libertarians would be a niche. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, think about these offshoot people like Bernie Sanders or Ron Paul. These political figures were never big enough to be able to like get elected for president or anything like that. But they had cult-like followings with totally different political views. That shows that there's these audiences that just want to consume their information so much. They love everything they say. Or, like Andrew Tate, or I don't know all these names of there's political commentators, stuff like that. Like all of these types of people. There's people that just resonate with that message, and then there's people that absolutely are disgusted by it. So you kind of realize that's how everything is. Like there's people that resonate so much with like a Democrat liberal message, and then there's people that are just disgusted by it, think it's the worst thing in the world. That's fine, because you're looking for the niche, because both of those are actually niches in a way. If you think about it, people that love something and people that hate something are both their own niche, because you could always sell the anti to the people that hate it. You could sell you could sell like a shirt, for example, as like, something bad about Biden or whatever, and sell it to Trump supporters. And then you could do a shirt that makes fun of Trump and sell it to Biden supporters, and you just cash in on both sides. You don't even care, right? That's the kind of way that niches work. Niches work that like you're able to play off of the passion, right? So you're gonna do just fine doing that. Like that might sell better than a pro-Trump shirt would be like an anti-Biden shirt, right? And this worked as an example. There was I can't remember what it was, but somewhere at some, like maybe a race car event or something like that, a NASCAR event or something, the crowd was chanting something derogatory about Joe Biden, and a news reporter heard it wrong. I can't remember what. It's been a while. Brandon, maybe it was let's go Brandon. That's what it was. Let's go Brandon. So something like that happens in the news, and it's like the news reporter's like saying, no, they're saying let's go Brandon, let's go Brandon. But really it was like F Joe Biden or something like that. And so in that moment, you're able to realize, wow, people that are against Joe Biden, aka like supporters of Trump or Republicans in general or something like that, I could create a shirt that said, let's go Brandon, and sell it to them, and they would buy it like crazy. And in those moments, you can make $1 million. Because if you understand bridge marketing, you get it. You're understanding how to be able to get people in this window of opportunity. While that's hot, you can make $1 million like that if you understand these principles. Because all you're doing is you're finding a passionate audience. You're connecting with them during a window of opportunity while something is hot. It could be a trend. It could be a timing. It could be while somebody's passionate about something. And you're selling them an offer that is directed towards that passion. That would be a great example. And also, let's go Brandon probably wouldn't flag any copyright stuff or issues. Now, you are going to look for those opportunities, and those opportunities will come 1,000 times in your lifetime, hundreds of times. The question is, are you going to be ready? Are you going to be prepared when they come? Are you going to have your marketing hat on? Are you going to have your senses to even recognize? Or are you going to be one of those people that looks back and says, oh man, I wish I would have done that. Oh man, I missed that. I missed that crypto trend. I missed that NFT trend. I missed that e-commerce trend. I missed that print on demand trend. I missed the let's go Brandon trend. You don't want to be the person that's missing things. So what you want to do is you want to basically get yourself to a position where you're looking for those opportunities and you're prepared. When that comes, boom, strike while the iron's hot. And you can do this on a smaller scale with these little micro niches, right? Find something that's trending, be able to capitalize on it. That's the idea. Okay, so again, the advanced goal is to get so good at being able to relate to a hyper audience, worm farmers, beekeepers, or whatever, and be able to bridge them over to an offer. Usually what that means, it's usually creating something in between. Okay? You're going to create something in between the offer. If you send them straight to the offer, it won't convert because their niche has nothing to do with the offer. That's for that third group. However, if you send them to something that has to do with their niche, but also has to do with the offer, you're looking for something that has common ground. What is something that has to do a little bit with this niche, but something that also has to do a little bit with this offer? Let me just give you a couple examples. Let's say an example is beekeepers. Okay, I'm going to make it as hard as I can on myself. How might I refer a beekeeper to Atlas? Okay, that's about as hard as it gets. So I might go to the beekeeper and I might say, are you hyper passionate about beekeeping and honey and all these things, right? Use some keywords. Are you hyper passionate about that? Listen, there's a lot of people out there that would be willing to pay you to just be able to do some videos showing them what your system is, what your process is, what your strategies are. If you're willing to just grab a phone and film yourself and throw those videos in a little members area, people will pay you. You could charge them one time or you could charge them monthly. They'll pay you for that information because there's so many people out there that are looking to get into that niche and you're very, very good at it. Now look at that. That I did not promote Atlas. I promoted something in between, right? And what I might do is I might say, look, I put together a video. It's 20 minutes long and it basically, or it's 10 minutes long, and it basically shows how to be able to cash in on your passion. So now I'm taking the people with passion and I'm having them watch like a little video, and the video I might just say, it might even be an AI avatar doing it. And the video might just say, look, here's what I would do. I'd put together this course. I would just put together a few videos showing what you do. And here's some ways to be able to make money from it. You know, I could put that course, you can put that course on Udemy. You can upload it. People will pay you there. You can make some money there. You can put that course on inside of a members area, drive your own traffic. There's these different networks where there's lots of courses on there. You could put it there. You could also find some affiliates. Some people that have big pages, they could promote it. You can make your money there. All you gotta do is put together probably 10 videos, charge $100 for it, and you're gonna make a bunch of sales just by getting affiliates, give them 50% cut, and these tools and resources do it. So listen, I know it's been 8 minutes so far, and I've just shown you all about how to be able to do this. Now, you might be thinking that this sounds amazing. This is exactly what I've been looking for, but I need step-by-step instruction. I need to be able to figure out, I'm new to when it comes to making money online. Well, I've got great news for you. I'm part of a community called Atlas. It stands for Affiliate Traffic Leads and Sales. It's perfect for people like yourself that are curious about creating a digital product. And so what if there was a way that for $20 a month that you could have training 5 days a week, 2 hours a day, to be able to get you comfortable, to be able to help you learn as a beginner, how to be able to set stuff like this up, how to be able to generate some sales, how to be able to, generate some leads, how to be able to generate what to say to them. And it's just $1 a day. For $1 a day, for less than the price of a cup of coffee, you could be learning this stuff with no fluff, direct, straight to the point. And it's an awesome community where you kind of hang out and ask questions from other people who are also looking to make money online. Okay. Do you get what I just did there? I don't know if you guys had one of these moments, like, because when I first learned bridge marketing, I went nuts and I just started making multiple 6 figures out of nowhere from audiences that have no business at all being involved in my space. The first time I did this was in 2014. I launched a course, an offer called Dark Post Profits. Essentially, this was a course on Facebook advertising. It was just a simple course for beginners, how to set up a Facebook ads account, what are all the sections, what they all mean, how to place your first ad, how to choose an audience in there, back then I taught the $5 a day Facebook ad method. It was like, look, $5 a day, right? For the cost of a mocha frappuccino at Starbucks, you could actually be building a business, making money. So I taught people the $5 a day method. And I thought to myself, I need to expand beyond just my little affiliate marketing space. I want to actually get some leads out there. So I started selling that course to just everybody. And I just did it with bridge marketing. I would sell it to anybody. I could sell it to a beekeeper because maybe a beekeeper doesn't want to place Facebook ads. But if I could get a beekeeper interested in something else for free, that thing would benefit from Facebook ads, that's the bridge. Once you, that's an advanced level. Okay, I'm not diving any more into it. Once you understand that, that's where you're able to scale a business from making, you might be making something like this, maybe 100, 200, 500, $1,000 a month. Once you figure that out, you're able to scale infinitely, right? You're able to parabolically, right? You're able to scale to 10,000 a day. Because once you can figure out how to do that, you can really easily advertise those niches. I mean, those niches are available. You can just pay influencers that already have followings in that niche. There's gardening channels on Instagram and stuff like that have 1 million followers. You just go to them, you make a little barter deal, pay them. I'll pay you $2,000 for a sponsorship. They promote the thing and they have no idea how well it's going to convert because they're thinking my gardeners ain't going to buy anything, but you are pro at bridge marketing. So you spend $2,000, you don't even tell them what you're making. Over here, you're like, oh my God, I just cleared $25,000 off that ad. So then you go back to them, you're like, look, I'd like to do it again. Since the second time, could you give me a discount? Like maybe $1,700 for this promotion? Don't tell them, oh my God, I paid you $2,000 and I made $25,000. Because they's like, oh, this time it cost $22,000 for you to run the ad, right? So once you understand bridge marketing, then you could just pay influencers, you could just pay channels, you could just pay bloggers, you could just run ads, and you could just basically do it all at a profit once you get good at that. So that's the journey, right? That's the story arc to get you there. So that was an introduction. You guys enjoy that part? The live viewers, you guys enjoy that? That deserves its own week, huh? Like a whole week, bridge marketing is like just next level. Bridge marketing is, you guys, my mind was seriously blown when I learned this. You got to understand, right now, if I wanted to, I'm not going to do it right now. I could pull up my Vimeo account. And I go back, I think it was 2013, actually, I started. I can go back to 2013 in my Vimeo account, and I can show you how I built audiences having to do with the San Francisco 49ers, because I was passionate about them. How I built audiences about Breaking Bad, the TV show, Walking Dead, the TV show, Mad Men, the TV show. I built all of these audiences in those specific niches because they were so easy to advertise to. And then I sold all those people into a network marketing company. It's the most mind-blowing thing. And then I made $500,000 in commissions. It is the craziest thing. I made $500,000 in commissions by selling fans of The Walking Dead into a network marketing company by using bridge marketing. And I should show you this. I just feel like it would take too much time to do it live on the spot right now. You know what I'm saying? So that I'm just going to leave it out there as like an open loop. And if we want to figure out the answer and how exactly I did that, we'll have to just keep going through these trainings and see if it comes out at some point. Okay. Wow, you guys can't see live, but the comments are just flying in. Chris Chris turns into Preacher Chris when he talks about bridge marketing and over delivers 10 times the value. I do turn in a little bit of Preacher Chris, I'm not going to lie. All right, let's keep it moving. So let's talk about building a brand. We're going to do this. Faceless versus personal. Branding. Switch back to the black. Feel like it's about time to switch back. Grab some tea. Okay, nice little transition time. We love Preacher Chris. Oh, there's a good idea. Leela says maybe do a video and post it to the members area. Yeah, that would actually be easier. Because the amount, I have 5,000, like 4,600 or something like that videos in my Vimeo account. So for me to go back and find these is like crazy. I've had this Vimeo account for over a decade, and I just hope I've had the lifetime account for like a decade. All right, faceless. Oh, device. You guys, my OCD just kicked in. Oh, I probably misspelled it now. I think I spelled it right. Faceless versus personal branding. Now, this is a worthwhile debate. Should you build your own brand or should you build a faceless brand? I build both. So obviously the option exists to build both. For example, if you guys were just a bunch of robotic avatars up here that I was speaking to, I don't think this would be much of a family, right? So I do think there's a place for real people that's good for marketing. But there's also a place for faceless brands. Now, first, let's define faceless, because you guys may not know what I completely mean by that. Okay, so the company that makes these, okay, print-on-demand canvas. I don't know who the owner is. I don't know who the founder is. I don't follow them on Facebook. They're not a friend. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you for the life of me who it is. I can't tell you who started it. I can't tell you how long the company's been in business. I can't tell you any of the employees. I can't tell you anything about it. So this would be an example of a faceless brand. Now, this is all over the place in your life and very easy to see. Drive down the street. Any street with businesses in your entire city, and ask yourself, how many of these businesses are built on a person? Like it's a person. Like it's really like you really know the person. And how many are built on a brand? So I want you to kind of think about this. So an example is you might see a billboard and maybe there's a lawyer on it. And maybe the lawyer is using their name. You know, go to Johnson Attorney, Johnson and Johnson Attorney, or Johnson and Davis Attorney. It's two guys. One guy's last name is Johnson. One guy's last name is Davis. And they're two attorneys. They're standing there all tough. We'll fight for you. Johnson and Davis Attorneys. That would be a personal brand. It's a business, but they're building it around their likeness, their image, their likeness. If they get hit by, if both of them get hit by, if they go on a boat and it crashes in the ocean, like that business is like not, it's going to be stripped away for parts, right? It's a business that's built on their personal brand. So if they are not able to be involved, that business could take. So a lot of people would argue it's better to build a business not on a personal brand, something that you don't have to be the face of, something you don't have to be there every single day. However, there are a lot of benefits to building a personal brand. For example, right now, I get asked to speak at conferences all the time. And I'm known for an orange hat, and I get opportunities all the time. So my personal brand gives me additional perks and bonuses. Companies will fly me out. They'll pay for things. They'll pay for a hotel. They'll pay for meals. They'll pay for speaking. You know, a lot of times they're doing business because they know, like, and trust me very, very well. Because I have the most control over my KLT factor with me, right? With a brand, it's harder to build a KLT factor because it's harder for somebody to really know, like, and trust a brand than it is a person, right? People are more trustable, right? Trustworthy, I guess, than just a company, you know? So example would be like Budweiser is a brand, That's an example of a brand. Yesterday, I think I used the example of Band-Aid. Nobody knows who is the guy's last name Band-Aid? Was it Jonathan Band-Aid from 1840? You know? No, it's like no one knows who these people are. You know, and even if you do know who the people are, that doesn't mean that the brand is built on them. You know, like Spanx, for example, is a very popular brand. And the woman who founded Spanx is like a billionaire, right? And so she goes around and she speaks at all these conferences all over the place, right? But still, Spanx is still a faceless brand, even though she's going and doing that. Whereas there's going to be a spectrum, you know. Examples would be like someone might have like a YouTube influencer might have a cosmetic brand, but it's really people are really buying because it's the influencer, you know, like Kylie Jenner. I could say that wrong. Like people like that. People are really buying because it's her more than the actual brand. But she's built, and her brand is called Kylie Cosmetics, which is after her own name. So that brand is only successful because she's building on a personal brand. But, you know, another example of an influencer would be The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He has a tequila brand called, I don't know, it reminds me of the word tiramisu, but I know it's not called a dessert, but it's something like that. It's like a tiramisu type name, and it's a tequila brand. And it's only reason people are buying it is because it's The Rock. However, his name is not involved in the brand at all. So as long as he uses his personal influence to kickstart it, then it'll get out in all these stores and it'll eventually become, hopefully, purchased just for being a brand out there in the stores. So it's okay to use some celebrity influence to kickstart something or personal brand to kickstart something. But you got to understand these dynamics between faceless and personal. So when I mean faceless, I just mean no different than Budweiser or Band-Aid, no different than Ford or Tesla. You might have some association with Tesla and Elon Musk, and you might say, well, there's a personal brand involved. Maybe Elon Musk is helping kind of kickstart that branding a little bit. Like if you think of Twitter, Twitter's a brand, but then you think of Elon Musk and you're like, well, you know, whatever. That's fine. You got to understand it still is run different. It's still slightly different than an actual personal brand. A personal brand would be like real estate agents, for example, are very much personal branded. They're very much like their name. They attach to a brokerage, but it's very much their name is branding them. Network marketers are very much personal brand marketers. People that are network marketing, it's like join with me, right? They go as far as personal ownership. Join with me and my company. That's not their company. If you're in network marketing, it's not your company, right? Doesn't make any sense. You are an independent contractor. In fact, the company could just cut you out for any reason at any time. And all your people still would stay with the company. So there's a lot of personal branded people out there. You'll probably see most of the personal branded people in the affiliate marketing space are going to be like the gurus. I'm one of them in a way, right? We build courses around our name. Our name has trust. If they know Chris Reccord's involved in a project, people feel more comfortable to continue to buy with Chris Record. There is a high sense of personal brand usage in a lot of niches, but then in some, it's completely faceless. For example, if somebody's interested in bowling and they want to buy a bowling ball, they don't need to buy a bowling ball from, you know, Bob's Bowling Ball Company. You know, oh my God, Bob is the great bowler. You know, I got to buy Bob's bowling ball. It could also just be like, you know, Wicked Bowling Balls Incorporated. And as long as the bowling balls are good and people are getting results, you get sponsors, you get succeed. So my point is that I want you to think about how you're going to create your brand. How are you going to create your brand out there? Faceless versus personal. I do both, but let me tell you the downsides of doing personal, okay? Let me tell you from my personal experience why I don't like this. However, for some of you, it will be the right thing to do, okay? The reason I don't like personal is because you become a slave to your own brand. Perfect example is this right here. Right now, I am a slave to this brand right here. I train 5 days a week, 2 hours a day. I've scheduled out 12 weeks exclusively for this. So what happens if something happens to me? The brand suffers. If something happens to me right now, if something unfortunate happened to me, it would affect a lot of people because it's so tied into personal branding. That's the downside. The upside is I'm in full control. I don't have to worry about anything. As long as nothing bad happens to me, then everything actually is going to work out better in the short term. But in the long run, you really become a slave to your social media. You really become a slave to the mob. The mob is going to be whether it's your followers, your leads, your buyers, your customers. In the long run, you really cannot escape it. Okay. The only way I was able to escape my personal brand was I cut off social media completely. And I went from hundreds of thousands of followers on multiple platforms, millions and millions of views, just quitting overnight because I was like, I just don't want to be a slave to it. So you can get burned out on a personal brand. That's another downside. You can get very, very burned out. So personal brand is excellent for fast, explosive growth because you're in full control. You don't have to, you've already got a market built in. It's really easy to brand yourself, but in the longevity, you're likely to burn out. It's hard. It's going to be hard to be able to create some distance from it. It's going to be hard to be able to walk away from it. It's hard to sell. If you have a personal brand, if I try to sell my brand, hey, you want to buy all my assets? They're like, well, are you coming with it? No? Well, then what are those assets even worth? It's just your personal name. So understand, personalized pros and cons. Faceless. Let's talk about faceless having some pros and cons. So the downside of faceless is it's more work in the beginning. You're not going to have that hyper growth, right? It's more work in the beginning because you're creating a brand from scratch that nobody knows, nobody likes, and nobody trusts. Well, at least with your personal brand, some people know you, some people like you, some people trust you. Maybe you have a personality, but faceless, it's hard to have a personality. You understand? Faceless is harder in the short term. Personal is easier in the short term. Personal is harder in the long term. It's not that it's harder, it's just that you can't escape it. Faceless in the long term, you can fully automate. And this could run for you. You can hire people to run it. So let me give you some examples. Wow, it says, wow, can you imagine a rap video about Bob's bowling ball? Bob's bowling, legendary feat. Don't make me make Bob's bowling a rap video. All right, here's an example. Let me take some of my friends. Okay, so I got a friend, Alex Becker. Known him for a decade or so. He recently sold a company for like $100 million. He's been in the affiliate marketing space. He's made millions and millions and millions upon millions and millions of dollars. He's one of the elite in the world of online marketing. Okay. Made 6 figures, then 7 figures, then 8 figures, then 9 figures. Okay. So clearly there's something, whether you like him or not, there's something to learn from that. Okay. So Alex Becker has a YouTube channel, and his YouTube channel is built on personal brand. So his YouTube videos are basically him in his garage with a little computer and a camera and some backlighting doing videos like this. This is me in my living room doing videos, right? It's built on his personal brand. Now, what happens when he's just busy in life? No videos get uploaded to his YouTube channel. What happens when he gets interested in other stuff? Like right now he's been interested in jiu-jitsu. He's like basically just doing jiu-jitsu 5 days, 6, 7 days a week. No videos get uploaded to his YouTube channel. What happens when he's sick? No videos get uploaded to his YouTube channel. So he has a YouTube channel with like 1 million subscribers, like 1 million subs. And it's hard to get him to do a YouTube video. Why? Because it requires him personally, which means he has to be feeling like it. He has to be in a good mood. It has to be a good day. Your hair has to be right. Your makeup has to be right. You have to feel confident. You got to like your smile. If you gain a little bit of weight compared to the last videos people are used to. Maybe you're like, oh my God, I don't even feel like I just, you start getting self-conscious. All of these things could happen, right? You just get too busy and your personal brand suffers. Whereas a faceless brand, if the channel was just faceless, meaning that the channel wasn't Alex Becker on camera every single time, the channel was maybe just a narrator narrating a story with B-roll in the background, let's say. So let's say Alex Becker just came out and just managed a small team of people and said, we're going to tell entrepreneur stories about the rise of successful entrepreneurs. And maybe I'll use my voice in the beginning to be able to do these stories. We write a script, we do a voice, and we find like some B-roll of all those people, and we do the rise of this person, the fall of this person, the rise and fall of this person. You just do these entrepreneur stories, right? Well, at that point, let's say it was my channel. Let's say I burn out. Well, I could just hire a voice actor to replace me. I can keep my businesses running even when I don't feel like it, right? Or I could figure out ways to get AI to be able to do that. So the benefit of a faceless channel is that it's a lot easier to sustain over the long term. But the downside is you're not going to have the same personal accountability for it. For example, if you were to start up your own channel under your own brand, there's a lot more accountability. Right now, I need to show up every single day, 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time for you. I have to show up. I build my life around it. But if it wasn't me, if it was a faceless channel, if this was all faceless and it was all done by AI or something like that, you got to ask yourself, would you be as in tune right now to be on live if it was an AI doing this presentation? Probably not. Would I have accountability? No, I'd probably be like, yeah, today I want to go out golfing, or today I want to go out and just hang out, and I want to go out on a date. I want to go travel. I got to pay somebody to make my videos. The problem is that I become a little disconnected with my brand, and I just don't care about it as much. So in real world, how many of you watching live right now have ever created a social media account, maybe for like a business name or something like that? You created one and you were excited in the moment when you created it. You got some videos going and you set it up. But let's be honest here. How many of you drifted away? If you're watching live right now, throw one in the comments if you've ever had the experience of drifting away from a project that you started up that was faceless. That was a brand, maybe a company that you started. Maybe it was a motivational channel or whatever. That's the downside with faceless. The downside with faceless is that if this right here were faceless, I don't think I would come. I don't think I'd be able to commit to it like this. So you have to understand the difference between when you're choosing how you want to build your brand. You got to think these things through. I want you to be smart. I don't want you to just be an amateur, because amateurs don't make money. Amateurs don't make money. And we all have to make those mistakes, right? It's not that the strategy was bad. You probably set up a really great channel and a really great brand that if you would have just stuck to it, it would have kept soaring. Kept learning, kept getting better. It would have just literally, some of you that started months and months ago building personal brands, you probably could have one at 100,000 followers already, 200, 300,000 followers. But it's hard to stick to it because there's no personal accountability. Right now, I'm here every single day because it's my reputation online. My face is online. I'll have egg on my face if I don't show. I will feel a certain way if I don't deliver because I'm attached to it. As soon as you go faceless, you're going to have to dig deep to find motivation to stick to it, especially because this is a slower build than this. This is hyper fast in the beginning, but hard in long term. This is a little slower in the beginning, but great in long term. How do you get through that hump, that phase of getting it successful? You're going to have to dig a little bit deeper when it's faceless. So a lot of people are like, oh my God, I want faceless. I want faceless. It depends. If you're able to sustain yourself, if you find you're the type of person that can commit to something over an extended period of time, that you are unwavering and loyal to your projects, then faceless is fantastic. Because in the long run, this will work. You will figure it out. You will crack the code. It's very, very possible. If you're a little bit more like shiny object syndrome and kind of lose interest after, you find yourself, hey, I go hard for something for 30 days and then lose interest, you're probably better off building personal, getting to the point where you have money. And then what I would do is I would pay people to build this. This works extremely well when you can fund it, because what is one tool that will get somebody showing up every single day? Money, right? If you're able to pay somebody's rent and all they got to do is make a faceless video for you every single day for your channels, they will do it, because that is a great way to get their rent paid. So this works incredibly well when you have money to be able to pay people to do it for you. Now you're like, hey, I'll pay you. I just want you to make a video a day on my channel. You got to make the video, make the thumbnail. I want you to publish it. I want you to do this. You create a SOP and tell them exactly what to do, and they'll do it, and it's going to be lovely. And then if you make more money, pay another person's rent, pay another person's rent, pay another person's rent. There's no shortage of people that will trade time for money. But when it's your time you're trading for money and you're on a slower start, it's just easy to walk away because you're like, yeah, I'm seeing results and I can see how this will work long-term, but I need money now. And so you'll kind of drift back into shiny object syndrome. And the problem with I know this training shouldn't be about shiny object syndrome, but I need to address it. The problem with shiny object syndrome is the real ways to make money take time and they're not sexy, right? You know what's sexy? get rich quick. That's sexy. You know what's not sexy? Get rich slow. But of those two, which one do you think works more of the time for more people? It's getting rich slow. There's a lot less people that actually get rich quick. But there's no shortage of shiny objects out there that will tell you that you can get rich quick. There's no shortage, right? But to actually learn real skills, be honest, you got to put in work. You got to put in the time. Some people would say to master something takes 10,000 hours. And I think that's a general statement. I think some things to master could take 100 hours. But you've got to put in the work. You got to put in the time. It's not, if you come in with this expectation that I need to make money right now, and if this doesn't work in the next 2 weeks, then I'm out of my house. Or I want to give you like the analogy. If I eat 4,000 calories a day, every day I eat around 4,000 calories. I enjoy my meals. And let's say my daily intake that I can kind of sustain my weight at, let's say is like, let's just say it's 3,000 for easy math. 3,000 calories a day, I'll pretty much keep my weight. 2,000 calories a day, I'll lose some weight. 4,000 calories a day, I'll gain some weight. So let's say that spectrum. 3,000 my maintenance, let's say 4,000. So I eat, let's say every 3 days, 3 to 4 days, I gain a pound. And it's slow and steady. And I gain a pound, and I gain a pound, and I gain a pound. Every month I'm gaining, 5, 6, 7 pounds. Just kind of, because every once in a while I notice it, and so I eat a little bit less. And every month I'm gaining about 5 pounds. And so I don't really notice a big difference in my clothes. Month 1, month 2, month 3. I put on 10, 15 pounds. But, I could lose, I could just, at some point I'd maybe get just a new pair of jeans that kind of is more comfortable. Now I'm kind of wearing those more often. Then another few months goes by, 5, 10, 15 pounds. Next thing you know, I'm up 30, 40, 50 pounds from what I used to weigh. And all my clothes don't fit. And now I've got new clothes. And I've just spent all this money on new clothes, and now I'm there. So let's say that happened. And let's say that happened over the course of a year. Okay, I gained 50 pounds in the course of a year. Well, now let's say I'm motivated, I want to lose weight. I get that motivation, I want to lose weight. The problem is, how long is it realistic for me to take to lose that weight? I would think I would start with, how long does it take me to gain it? I think the most realistic time frame would be, it's at least going to take the time that it took me to gain it. If I put this weight on over a year, then this might take me a year to get this weight off. Okay? You need to understand this. I'm not wasting your time. I promise I'm not wasting your time. It's just that people don't understand how this applies to marketing. And I need to help you understand. The same way that it would be unrealistic to get rich quick, it's also unrealistic to lose 50 pounds in a month. Even if you did it, you wouldn't sustain it. Look at the Biggest Loser. They all gain their weight back, right? It's unrealistic. A realistic strategy would say, look, I was gaining around 5 pounds a month. Let me put in a plan to lose 5 pounds a month. And then it's going to be slow and steady, and it's going to require commitment even when I don't feel like it. And I'm going to have to stick to it without shiny object syndrome. And if I do that, then I'll get to the weight that I want to be at. And maybe it's the opposite for you. Maybe you want to gain weight. Same thing. Got to be slow and steady and consistent to win this race. So the same exact thing happens when it comes to marketers. Marketers come in and they say, but I'm already 20,000 in debt. I've maxed out my credit cards. I wish I would have known about this 2 years ago. I've already bought all these courses. I'm in debt. I can't just make $200 a month to be happy right now. I can't just lose 5 pounds. I gained 50 pounds. 5 pounds ain't going to make a difference. If I can't lose it, I might as well, why even try, right? You got to understand, are you coming in with some preconceived ideas about, well, I don't have the money, or I can't afford. You don't understand my situation, Chris. I can't allow it to take a year. Are you kidding? What happens is the ones that really can set a long-term vision and stick to it will always outperform everybody else. What we call these, I'm going to put it up on the whiteboard real quick. I call this the long game versus short game. The long game versus the short game. This right here pays the most consistently for life, this right here, you might make some money, but you're most likely going to put yourself through something so extreme that it's not sustainable. So I do short bursts in the long game. What I do is I always focus on the long game. Like right now, my friend was asking me about what we're doing. He's like, wow. He's like, I saw the Zoom of you. You made like 6 figures in a week off of a list of 800 people. And he's like, so you're just going to keep promoting that list? And I go, no. The long game is that I want that to be a list of 8,000 people with the same results. Then the long game is I want that to be a list of 80,000 people, but with the same results. Because right now I could easily just go get a list of 80,000 people, but I'm not going to get those. I might just get the same results. So what I'm doing is I'm building things on a foundational level because I'm visualizing where do I want to be in 5 years and where do I want to be in 10 years? And what does that path look like? And how can I stick on that path for the next 5 to 10 years? How can I stick on that path? Because that motivates me. So I'm always focused every day on the long game. Inside of the long game, I allow some short game. Here's 90 days where I'll go live 5 days a week. Now, am I committing to this for the next 10 years of my life? No, I think I'd burn out. I don't know if I'm cut out for this. We don't know until we try. So I'm going to give it my best, right? I did vlogging for 90 days straight, and that was fun. But then I burned out. I did e-com challenge. I did 90-day e-com challenge for 90 days. Then I burned out. So I like getting a long game and just doing short little bursts that say, I don't have to commit to it. I don't have to keep it going. I'm just going to do it, get it going, and then we'll find some people, we'll put in some systems to be able to run it. The long game is where you're going to make the big money. So I want to encourage you right now, if you have any debt on your credit cards, if you've bought any other courses, if you've participated in other programs that haven't made you money, the only way you're going to succeed here is if you clean the slate, okay? The analogy that I want to give you is that you're carrying around with you a bag of bricks. Everywhere you go, this heavy bag of bricks, you're just carrying it around with you everywhere you go. And life feels so hard. And I come up to you one day and I'm like, hey, Mary, why are you carrying around this big bag of bricks with you everywhere? Why don't you just leave it and life will be so much easier? And you sit there and you give me all, you don't understand how important these bricks are. That brick right there, that was a $1,000 course I bought 8 years ago and never opened it. I'm still mad at that one. I carry that around with me everywhere I go. This brick over here, that was a relationship. That was a toxic ex-boyfriend. Oh man, I think about him every day and it makes me mad. You know, people carry around these bags of bricks of all this trauma. And the problem is that they're never going to be able to level up with the bag of bricks. You can't carry that up the stairs and they don't get it. They're like, why am I not succeeding? You gotta let go of that bag of bricks. So if you've bought any other programs, if you've tried other things and they haven't worked, if you've joined other courses, if you've been part of boot camps or academies, if you've been part of Facebook groups, if you've tried business opportunities, any of these things, and it hasn't worked, that doesn't matter. The only way that you're going to make this work is to clean the slate completely. Start fresh. Believe that this time will be different. And go after it and chase it without the heavy burden. So don't sit there and say, oh man, the reason I need to make 10,000 like this month is because I'm already so in debt. I already have all these. When you do these things, it causes you to fail. And that's why you got to ask yourself, doing the same thing over and over is considered the definition of insanity, right? Is if you're expecting a different result, you got to do the same thing over and over. You got to do something different. You got to let it go. You can't just keep doing it. You got to let it go, right? So in order to change, you need to say, what is the toxic behavior that I'm doing that I can take out and then try this again? So to do it the same way over and over won't work. You have to change something. And I'm encouraging you, change your belief, change your mindset. Leave all your past experiences behind and say, you know what? What if, just what if I prayed and this was the answer to that prayer? What if this was the blessing I was looking for? What if everything that I did was a series of events to lead me to this moment. That pain that I went through, I had to go through it in order to get here so that I could succeed. Right? You got to have that. So what I recommend in general, I can't make a decision for you, but what I recommend is, and by the way, we're going to teach both. Inside of Atlas Academy, we're going to teach faceless and personal. We're going to emphasize more on faceless because people generally know how to build a personal brand, but they don't really know how to build a faceless brand. And also we're going to take this and we're going to teach it with AI. So we're going to teach how to be able to have AI brands, how to be able to create AI avatars, get an avatar inside of a studio, give the avatar a personality, how to train ChatGPT to be able to teach it what to share. In fact, I think in just two or 3 weeks, in this week we're doing affiliate, next week we're doing paid advertising, the next week is Faceless Content Academy, and the week after that is AI Academy. So we're spending 2 weeks on this, 2 full weeks coming up. But I will say, if you are in a position where you have some charisma, you have some, you enjoy talking to people, you don't mind being the person, this is going to be the fastest path to cash. But I would recommend doing what I do. Do both. Build these up on the side because this is going to burn you out at some point. So I want you to think about your decision, what you want to do there. We're going to teach it. And then I also want you to figure out what it looks like for you to focus on the long game versus the short game. Hey, this is so accurate, Chris. Thank you. So accurate. This is speaking deep into my situation. What a great analogy. I've been dragging around this ball and chain. Dude, this is so good. Hey, I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. But let's keep it going. I want to eat up the 4 hour time we got together. We got another half an hour. Okay? We got another half an hour. We could do a lot of stuff right now in the next half an hour. Okay, so let us continue going. Let's go here. I'm going to pull up this right here. Okay. So the next thing I want to focus on is creating value. And I'm going to underline that because that's really all that matters. The creating part is useless. I got to just put the word value up there. So we talked about something yesterday. I think this topic I can go through a little bit faster. The basic idea about value is that people don't want to be sold, right? And also you don't want to be the salesman. You don't want to pounce on people. You don't want to jump from behind a tree and go, hey, that's a sharp looking suit. Hey, do you keep an open mind to new ways of making money? I'd love to show you how my friend is making $10,000 a month in residual passive income, working from home, all from his computer. It's only $20 a month, and I can show you too how to be rich, right? Don't be one of those people. Although, technically in this world, you could be whoever you want to be. And honestly, those people probably do make some good money. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, but one piece of advice my dad gave me early on in life is he said, it takes all kinds. And what he meant by that is just like, you can't really be mad at people's life choices because it's just a really big world. And there's going to be somebody who chooses to do drugs. There's going to be somebody who chooses to be clean and sober. There's going to be somebody who chooses to, there's going to be somebody who's got a path that they're rich and wealthy. There's going to be somebody who's got a path where they're homeless under a bridge. There's just, when you get this many people in a world, there's going to be all kinds of people, and it's just okay. You just be accepting of everybody and just realize, hey, we're going to have a variety of people in this world that we live in. It was side piece of advice I got as a kid, and I just stuck with me. Maybe not as a kid. I think I didn't get it until I was like 20, 25. But it's always stuck with me. And then one day he was like getting mad at people, and I was like, didn't you tell me it takes all kinds? He's like, oh, that was just some dumb advice I gave you. When people get older, they get a little stubborn. Okay, so creating value. So I don't care what kind of person you want to be, but this is what I would, if you're looking to become somebody, this is who I would want you to become. A person who creates value. Not that person who's out there selling everybody, but just simply a person that's going out there serving everybody. It's better to serve people than to sell people. We want to attract, okay? So we are gonna, you guys have heard this before, attraction marketing, okay? This is what we're focused on. So we're focused on attraction marketing. What I mean by that is you want people to come to you. It is a lot easier to handle a lead that raises their hand and says, I'm interested to hear about what you have to offer. if you can get somebody to do that, you're going to have a lot more success in life. Hey, I'm interested. I want to hear what you have to offer. I want to hear about this, right? So what you do is you put value out and you're going to attract people that want more, okay? You're going to put it out. So it's your job to, people aren't just going to come to you. That's unrealistic, right? You need to put it out there. You need to get you need to get content out there, get people to attract people with that content and get people to reach out to you. If you could just simply field a constant pipeline of people interested in what you have to offer, then, and you keep that consistent, then that pipeline will do its thing. People will move through this pipeline. So we're going to go ahead and put a pipeline here, right? We're going to put pipeline. And I want to show you how this works. Okay. So here's a pipeline. Okay. Here's a pipeline. Now, this pipeline is kind of like a funnel, right? What you got to do is you got to get people in here, right? You got to get them in the front. That's the most important part. You got to get them in the pipeline, moving through the pipeline. Okay, here, right? This is where you want to get to, right? Okay. So this could be an assembly line, a pipeline, any kind of visual you want to get, right? A funnel, a sales process, could be anything. But you want to get people in. So you got to get people in the front. You've got to attract people into the pipeline. Then this pipeline is strategically set up to move people through a process that eventually ends up in a result down here, which is the outcome that you're looking to get. Now, along this result could be a customer, a purchase, a sales purchase, or the sales purchase could happen here, and it could be a series of upsells, right? But essentially, the way that I build my pipeline, you don't have to build it this way. I build my pipeline up here. I do free value to get people into the pipeline. And over here, my outcome that I'm focused on is something called LTV, lifetime value. So I build a long game pipeline. I build a deep pipeline. When somebody gets in the pipeline, then I'm going to focus on a series of value, pitch. Value, pitch. I'm going to move them through a process, right? And as much as possible, you want to focus on an ascension model. So you want to focus on a model like a staircase or a mountain or some type of ascension model. So let's say that you have a mastermind you want to sell people in for $10,000. Well, you don't want to put it here at the front. You'd want to put it here at the back. You'd want to get people in maybe for something that's free, and then maybe just introduce them to a $100 product, and then maybe introduce them to $250 or $500 or $1,000. Before you want to create some type of ascension model for people in your pipeline, right? Now, keep in mind, for a lot of you watching, I create systems that do this for you. So if you're part of programs like Atlas, like Internet Income System, we create pipeline systems for you. That's what we do. We create these long sales funnels, and then we even create things like a marketplace where you can swap affiliate links. We create tools for you to be able to, as long as you get people moving through this pipeline, you can continue to monetize that for years and years and years to come. So we do this for you, but it's important that you understand why we do it, and it's important that you understand how to do it yourself, because at the end of the day, this training is principle-based. It's not just based on Atlas. You should be able to apply these skills to everything. You should apply it to a real estate business, an insurance business, you name it, any type of business. So the idea is I create a pipeline where I get people in for free. Now, what do we call this? This is called a lead magnet. Okay? It's a lead magnet. I think a magnet would look something like this, right? And it's got like the little markers right there. And then it's got like a little, okay. You guys know my art is always just top notch over here, okay? So I got a lead magnet. What a lead magnet is it's attraction marketing or magnetic marketing. The idea is a magnet pulls, right? You want to produce this magnet that pulls things in, right? And then you're just carrying around this magnet and it's pulling things in. So essentially the magnet is a metaphor for something that people want. So when they see it, they're like, oh, and they just start gravitating towards it the way that metal might gravitate to a magnet. So what you want to do is you want to think, what can I use to be able to attract people in? And I think the lead magnet should be free. Some people think this should have a small fee to it. I think it should be free. But just to give you perspective, I also think that this course here, these academies, which is $20 a month, is a lead magnet, because you could just bring people in for $20 a month. They refer one person, they made back all their money, right? So they can get in, they can refer one person, they made back all their money, and now they get daily training, 12 plus academies. It's a pretty good lead magnet. So this itself is a lead magnet, but I like to put a free one on the front. Before even getting them to spend $20, I would rather give them a little taste. So what I would do is I would take a little clip of today's training, take a little clip that's like 5 minutes, a part that you really liked, you clip it, and you put it into a video funnel, and you just tell somebody, hey, here is this thing, and you've got to describe it in a way that's attractive. Here is this thing, here's why it's attractive, and it's yours for free. But you don't give it to them, because that's not what you do. If you give, then you're just a salesman out there pushing. You want to pull. You want to say, if you want me to send you this video, send me your email address. Let's say you put it on Facebook, just DM me with your email address and I'll send it to you. Now you got the email, you can add it to your list, and you can follow up with that person. And now you email them the link. But not only do you email them the link to the thing, the little clip, you just say, hey, this clip is just a teaser. This is literally 5 minutes of one single day of training, and this training is just $1 a day. So if you watch this and you like it, click the link below this video. There'll be a button that'll actually show you the full academy, and it's literally $1 a day. And the moment you join, you'll literally get access to all kinds of stuff. So if you like this type of content, there's no better content out there for $1 a day. So what you do is you basically start with a free lead magnet, then you get to like a $20 a month lead magnet, and then after that, you don't need any sort of magnet anymore, because now they're in the pipeline. They're in the pipeline and they're moving through the pipeline, right? So each one of these steps is like an interval. They're moving through this pipeline, and you can have an outcome. I like to have the outcome of LTV, which stands for lifetime value. The reason I like to have the outcome of lifetime value is because, to me, I play such a long game that I'm seeing way beyond the current marketing that we're doing. I don't feel like we're marketing a $20 a month product. I feel like we're this $20 a month product is really just building this massive base. So you can go out there and put 100, 200, 300, 1,000 people in. And yeah, you're making $20,000 a month. And you might think that is amazing. But no, you have 1,000 people that are in your pipeline. And a certain percentage of them are going to buy the 250. A certain percentage of them are going to buy the 1,000. A certain percentage of them are going to sign up for high level with your affiliate link. A certain percentage of them are going to sign up for the next marketplace, the next marketplace, the next marketplace. And the LTV, the lifetime value per free person you came in, is going to start being massive. So when you start here with a $20 lead magnet and someone buys, your lifetime value is $20 a month. So month one, my lifetime value, let's say John purchases. John buys the $20 a month. My lifetime value of John is $20. To get lifetime value, you take the total amount of money you've made divided by the total amount of customers. And that gives you your average lifetime value. Or if you want specific lifetime value, you can take the total amount of money you've made divided by the specific customer, and that will give you customer lifetime value. So let's say John stays on this program for 6 months and he's been paying $20 a month, right? Then my lifetime value on John is 6 times 20, right? Which is 120. So my lifetime value, my LTV for John is 120. But let's say I have 100 of these customers. John is just one of them. What I'll do instead is I'll count up the total amount of money I've made and I'll divide it by 100. 100 customers, that will now give me the average lifetime value of everybody. It's very easy math. Total money made divided by total customers. Okay? So now that I know my LTV, all I want to do is keep increasing it. So I'll be asking myself, how can I increase this LTV? So John came in for 20. What can be done for him to want to come in for some of these 100 people to want to come in for 250? What can be done for some of them to come in for 1,000? What could be done for some of them to purchase an affiliate product through my list? And so when I think about what can be done, the answer is usually not, why gonna sell them? Why don't we pitch them? Why don't we close them? Because what's going to happen is John is going to feel like, really? He just wanted me in here so he could sell me a bunch of stuff, right? It doesn't really work. Of course, we're salespeople. We make commissions. We want people to buy. It's affiliate marketing. Of course, we want people to buy. But that's where value comes in so much more, creating value, right? Value comes in because if each one of these is just pitch, it's not going to work. But what if I'm going to put a V for value? We'll do a little key here. V equals value. And then $ equals pitch. Okay. So watch this here, right? So this funnel looks like this. V, 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 $. V, 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 $. V, V, $. All right. So you get the idea, right? Maybe you don't see which ones are the $, so I'm going to circle. Okay. I'm going to circle these $ just so we see them more symbolic on the thing, right? Okay. So as you're moving through this pipeline, you want to go value, 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 pitch, value, 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 pitch, value, 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 pitch. That's what you're in control of. See, the pipeline will already do this automatically, but what you're in control of is first of all, your main goal is this is you. This is your main goal. You live over here. You put people in the pipeline. That's your main goal. You put people in this pipeline. This right here is more or less our goal, but you need to understand it because if you're ever really going to advance to intermediate to pro, you're going to need to understand why we do what we do and how we do what we do. So instead of just constantly selling people something, I want to move them through a series of value so that they can make an educated decision that they want to level up, that they want the next level, that they want more because they're loving the experience. Okay? This value doesn't take away from this. I'm not giving this away for free. This value is just simply to build a KLT factor, know, like, and trust. You want them to know you, like you, and trust you. They're getting amazing value out of you. Then when you do have something to be able to provide to them, they are more likely to be able to purchase that. So I want to give you confidence that our entire system here at Atlas is built on a value, 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 value pitch system. We want to deliver massive amounts of value to people so that they not only can make a smart decision, but an educated decision and not an emotional, impulsive decision. We don't want people to just buy because a sales pitch is good, because then people buy and then they regret and then they quit. We want people to buy because they know that this is the right place for them. They know that this is the real thing. They know this is different. And we want them to actually be convicted because we care less about their individual purchase because that's not our goal. Our goal is not the purchase. Our goal is we're building a tribe. We actually want their buy-in. We want their commitment. Because if we can build an actual tribe and get people committed, the multiplication of that is massive. See, addition is just 1 + 1 + 1 + 1. Multiplication is, you get 10 people, they get 10 people, they get 10 people. What is that? 10 times 10 is 100 times 10 is 1,000. 1,000 people off of 10 people. Addition would take 1,000 people to get there. So if you're just churning and burning, getting people in just because you're good at marketing, you're just going to have to keep replacing them. But if you can actually build a loyal, committed tribe who participates and engages and loves the community, it takes a little extra effort, by the way. I mean, look at the effort that I put in. But if you do that, it's a game changer. This is how you go on to make millions. When I first started, I just tried to make 10,000 a month. Then 2 months later, I made 20,000. It took me 5 years to make my first 10 grand. 5 years, 2 months later, I made my first 20 grand. Maybe the next month, actually. Then I went to 50 grand a month, then 100 grand a month. Then I had my first $200,000 a month. Then I had my first $1 million month. Then I had another $1 million month. It's crazy what can happen once you get good. But if you're not good at nurturing and building your tribe, then what's going to happen is you're going to keep needing to replace all the people that are just burned out from you just constantly selling. So you have to find a balance where you're constantly selling because that's the only way the business survives, sustainable long-term. You got to make money, got to be profitable, but you got to figure out that pipeline. So the good news to some of this is that we handle the pipeline for you, but you're going to need to learn this yourself because hopefully you do more with your life and your career than just what you learn. You don't want to just do this for your life. You want to do this until you're making enough money. And then there's going to come a time in your life where you're going to want to go back and watch this video and go like, okay, it's time for me to create my own little pipeline here because I want to sell my own offer. I want to do my own thing, or I want to use this for e-commerce. I want to use it for something else. And you're going to remember this: value, 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 pitch, value, 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 pitch. I'll give you one more example. I got a friend who has an email list of 600,000 people. And every time that he promotes an offer, he gets a lot of sales. He makes like $50,000. He could sell like $50,000 worth of stuff to that 600,000 person list. Like pretty much he'll promote a new offer every single week. Me and him got in a conversation and I said, hey, why are you always selling stuff to them? Why don't you ever give them a break? And he's like, oh, I do. For example, I sold them the first and second week. I sold them an offer the first week. I sold them an offer the second week, and then I didn't mail them at all the third week. And then the fourth week, I sold them another offer. So I gave him a break because I thought I was just too much, right? I gave him a break. And I want to tell you guys right now, I know this is an advanced conversation that I would teach at a mastermind to people that are all probably millionaires, and this is what they need to hear, but it's nice for you to hear too, which is that is the worst thing you can do. That example is the worst thing you could do, right? He thought pitching them a product during this week, then pitching them another one this week, and then taking the week off gave them a break, and then pitched them again the fourth week. Now listen, there is no such thing as a break, okay? You don't give people a break. That makes no sense. They're not going to notice the break. All you're ever doing is selling something. They're not going to notice you didn't sell something that week. You're just selling something again. Breaks don't work. The only thing that works here is value. If they're, in his case, at least, if he's going to do that, can you at least take that week and don't give him a break? Instead, every single day for 5, 6, 7 days in a row, do a free video. Sit there and record 7 videos. Take a page like this, draw up something and say, video number 1, I'm going to teach you this. And then press stop. Okay, next page. Video number 2 is this. Video number 3. Record 7 videos and just go, hey, this week is value week. I just want to do nothing but serve value to the community. Every day, give them another video, teaching them something for free that you would have sold. That alone is 10 times better than giving them a break because they need to get used to value. Let me explain the psychology of this. Even if I have to cut out a couple things I wanted to talk about today, let me explain the psychology. I already told you I'm going to save driving traffic for later. Pre-qualifying leads, I already showed you how to do that with the niches. So I think those two I'll talk more about later tomorrow. But I do want to get income producing activities before we wrap. But this right here, this psychology is so important. If you're on my list, I want you to open every email and I want you to click every link. And I want you to do that because that is the way we are going to have the most harmonious relationship. I have to battle for attention in your inbox. Your inbox is a place where the world is flooding for your attention, right? Same with social media, right? If you post on social media, I'm one post of 100 posts in the newsfeed. So it's a fight out there for attention, right? So if I'm in your inbox every single day, I want you to open the emails and I want you to click. The ratios that I need about, I really to sustain profitably and successfully long-term, I really need to shoot for targets like a 50% open rate and a 20% click rate. That's at least. But right now I'm doing like 70-20, right? But you need to shoot for those metrics. Now, the only way I'm going to shoot for those metrics, if I'm just constantly, every day it's a new thing for you to buy, then what's going to happen is you're going to be less motivated to open the email and click the link. You'll do it the first few times, but eventually our relationship will turn into you're a customer. You're just a statistic on my list. And I'm a guru who just wants to sell you something. And what will happen is my open rates on my list will go from 70% to 60 to 50 to 40 to 30 to 20 to 10%. And next thing you know, I'll have a 600,000 person list and all I could do is 50 grand. Whereas right now I can make four times that right now off of a 1,000 person list. You understand the reason I could do that is because if anybody here has been on my list, which a lot of you have, then you know that like 90%, if not more, of the emails I send don't have anything for you to buy. They just don't. I challenge you, go lift my name up in your inbox and go look. 90% of those emails, if you were to actually sit down and make a spreadsheet, did this email sell me something? And I'm not talking about like a PS line. I'm not saying like a PS line way deep in the email that says, by the way, if you didn't, if you weren't able to purchase that thing last week, here's a link. No, it's like what's the gist of the email? Is the email giving you something valuable? Because if I can give you something valuable and it's free, then you're going to be more likely to open the emails and click the links, open the emails and click the links, open the emails and click the links. Then when an offer comes in, you open the email and you click the link. Do you see what I'm saying? And the ratios are high. The click-through rate is high. The open rate is high. And then after that offer is done, value. Open the email, click the link. Open the email, click the link. You have to do this. You have to. You don't give breaks to your list. You got to compete. If you give breaks, that means competition's going to come in there. You're going to start opening other people's emails. You're going to get distracted with shiny object syndrome. The break is the worst thing. What I would do if I were this person, don't use this as an example, is I wouldn't promote the first week, the second week, and the fourth week and give people a week off. What I would do instead is I would say promote one offer per month and do value 3 weeks of the month, and then do 1 week where you promote an offer for like 5 days. And you'll make, if you do what I'm saying on a 600,000 person list, you'll make more money per month promoting one thing than you ever will promoting multiple things. And your audience will love you more for it because you're giving them so much value. So listen, value, value, value pitch. It has to go in that ratio. You can't do it any other way. I hope you guys understand that. Let me wrap up today with 2 things, and we'll carry this out for the last 10 minutes. One is the 80-20 rule, and the other is IPAs. Income producing activities. Income producing activities. Okay? IPAs. Okay, we're going to just put it way up here. IPAs. Now, you might have heard this phrased a bunch of different ways. Some people like to call them MMAs, money-making activities. The point is that they're just simply some activities that are going to make you money, and there's some activities that are there are going to be activities that are production mode, there's going to be activities that are management mode. So what you're going to do, and this is, I like giving assignments, so this is going to be an assignment for you right now. What you're going to do is you're going to make a list, okay? I'm going to have you do it like this, okay? You're going to make a list on a piece of paper of all these activities. Okay, we're going to talk about them, so you don't need to do it right now. And then at the end, you're going to put a $sign next to the ones that are income-producing activities. And this is what it's going to look like. This is going to be your list, okay? This is going to be your assignment. You're going to make a list of activities. Before you do, I'm going to just walk you through it. And then you're going to put a $sign next to the ones that are income-producing activities. And then you're going to ask yourself, are 80% of the items on that list income-producing activities? That is your outcome. Your outcome of this little 10-minute training is going to be that 80% of the activities that you do are income-producing activities. That is the goal. Is it ever going to work that way? Probably not, because we're humans and we're all in a different spot of our learning curve. For example, a college student is going to spend a lot more time not making money, but learning skills than, let's say, a doctor. Somebody's already been through college. They're now in their career. So there's going to be certain people during the different phases, right? You might be more of the student phase right now, where you're going to spend the majority of your time learning. That's okay. But don't be a student forever. Don't be a lifetime student. Don't be a lifelong student. You got to, at some point, graduate through the phases to being that doctor, that lawyer. In this case, that successful internet marketer. So, but it's okay to be a student. In fact, I don't mind you guys all being on these trainings because I'm here and I'm taking, and this stuff's valuable. But if all you did was sit on these trainings all day, would you make money? Let's be honest. If all you did was sit around and watch these trainings, would you make money? No. You would learn a lot and you would be happy. You would be a happy student, but not a successful internet marketer. So 5 minutes, let's run through it. And I'll cover this. Anything I don't cover, carry it over to next week. You know what I'm saying? Easy. And also, I want to let you guys know that if you're watching this on demand on a replay, then the post is probably already in the Facebook group. But once everybody gets, right now, some of the people watching this live that they're not in the Facebook group yet, every single Academy week, this one's called Affiliate Marketing Academy, has its own dedicated Facebook post, and that's where you ask questions. So at the end of every single session like this, you log in the Facebook group. Any questions that you have about anything is all asked in one thread inside the Facebook group. We have an ongoing conversation about everything discussed about this week. Every week we have a new post that has an ongoing discussion about all the information that week. So that way I get a chance to be able to read everybody's thoughts. People want me to expand more on stuff. People can tell me what they really, really like. They can give feedback. It's all going to be organized inside there. So if you're watching this on demand, it probably already is in there. Okay, so the gist of it is this. What is the difference between an income producing activity and a non-income producing activity? Sitting on a Zoom right now, sitting here watching this is a non-income producing activity. Is it important? Yes. Is it going to help you make income? Yes. So it goes on the list. You're going to put right here on this list, attending Zooms. And you're going to kind of put it out. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to attend Zooms. I love it. I really enjoy it. I like it. 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. And if you don't attend, then you'll still watch the 2-hour replay. So attending Zooms will go on there, but you wouldn't put a $ next to it. Okay? Maybe another one is you really, really like scrolling the newsfeed. You follow a bunch of people that are really successful. You like scrolling the newsfeed. Scrolling the newsfeed is another activity that you do. So what I want you to do is I want you to put down all the activities that you do during the hours you have. So think about these questions. Number 1, how many hours a week do you have to dedicate towards your online business? There should be a number. 10, 2, 20, 50, 100, 12. It's some number, right? You shouldn't work more than 100 hours a week, so it shouldn't be higher. Not everybody can do what I do. I work 100 hours a week, but it shouldn't be that. It shouldn't be that high. It should probably be like at the highest, should probably be like 60 hours. That would mean you're maybe retired and you're able to do this full time. And then the most minimum would hopefully be like at least 1 hour a week, hopefully. So if you can only invest like 1 hour a week or 2 hours a week, if it's just that little amount of time, then I would probably just watch this is what I would do. 1 to 2 hours a week, I would just watch these replays on demand, and I would turn the speed up to like 2x. And I would just try to maximize my learning curve, shorten my learning curve. That's what I would do if I only had 1 to 2 hours a week. If I had maybe like 4 to 5 hours a week, then what I would probably do is maybe I'll catch one of these, but I probably wouldn't spend all 5, 6, 7, 8 hours even. I wouldn't spend all of those hours on these Zooms. Unfortunately, that means some of you aren't going to be able to watch live, and it sucks. But it's all right, because a lot of new people are going to be coming in, and they'll fill your spot. But if you're on these Zooms, that's 10 hours a week. I hope that you have more than 10 hours a week to build your business. So if 10 hours a week is going towards Zooms, hopefully you got another 10 hours at least to put towards your business. Now, the 80-20 rule is where you want to get, which is 20% of your time is learning and 80% of your time is doing. The analogy I like to get is that you're trying to chop down a tree, okay? To chop down a tree, you have an axe. This is an axe right here. It's a blue Sharpie axe. And you got to chop down this tree. But if all you do is work, the blade's going to get dull. And so you're going to eventually just take forever working and be like, I'm burned out. This is too hard. So then you got to realize, oh, this guy's sharpening his axe. So you go over here and start sharpening your axe. Okay, that's learning, attending Zoom, stuff like that. Sharpen. And now that axe is going to cut down a tree. But if all you're doing is sharpening the axe, that tree's not going to get cut down either. So both of those methods are wrong. Work is wrong. Sharpen is wrong. What you need to do is you need to find the right balance. Sharpen, cut. Sharpen, cut. So my goal for you is to start with 50-50. And then go up. So however many hours per week you spend learning, I want you to spend that amount of hours doing. So if you have 2 hours per week, then fine, spend it all learning. But if you got at least 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours per week, spend 4 hours learning and 4 hours doing. Start 50-50 in the beginning because it's all right to be a student. Some of you, are not used to this. But once you actually start making money, once you actually figure out what makes money, transition over into 80% of the time making money. So homework assignment, we're going to wrap up and I'll finish this up tomorrow, okay? The homework assignment is, and don't worry, if I left something here, I'll just finish it tomorrow. Got to do a hard 6 stop. My man just got out of the hospital, okay? And he's here. He feels better early on, and then later he starts touching his face like this. I know he's got to go. Homework assignment. I want you to make a list of all the activities you do in business. Make a list of write down how many hours you have to spend and what activities that you do. Be accountable. Put a $ next to ones that are actually income-producing activities. As a quick tip, I'll tease it for tomorrow. It's anything that helps you create traffic. You make your money creating traffic. Anything that helps you create traffic is an income-producing activity. So we'll leave it right there. Make the list. put dollar signs next to each thing. You guys give me some waves in the Zoom here. I like to do a hard 6 stop. I can't teach you everything every day. We gotta kind of stop, and then we'll just pick up where we left off. It's like a continuous evolution of the days, right? So don't worry, we got time tomorrow, okay? And so we're gonna do that. Anyway, you guys, for those of you that are watching live, stay tuned. We're gonna be inviting you into the new members area Facebook group. For those watching on demand, you already have access to everything. It's always a pleasure, as always. Chris Record, behind the cameras, we got Mike Known. Every single day, we teach you for $1 a day how to make money online. We try to make it simple and beginner-friendly as possible. I appreciate, love, and respect every single one of you, but we've got to go for today so we can make room for tomorrow. God bless. Thanks, everyone, and have a good day.
Every day I see him scrolling through my news feed. Lean on the Lambo, lean and say cheese. I'm not trying to judge, you could do your own thing. I'm just trying to inspire them to think differently. Everywhere I go, I'm preaching positivity. Push away the drama, we ain't got no time for tea. I'm not trying to judge, you could do your own thing. I'm just trying to inspire them to think differently. Man, it's obvious to see that you can honestly deceive all these MCs by fronting like you ballin' on IG with your sisters taking pictures in your Airbnbs, like flexing on a rental with your Maserati lean. Birch, please, I'd rather be the owner of the keys to these Airbnbs y'all be posting on IG. Man, they rap about the drugs like they thugs selling keys. I'd rather rap about the ones that be chasing their dreams. Peer pressure got them thinking that they all need Supreme, so they start out flipping burgers, making y'all Mickey D's. Then consumerism got them, it's a problem indeed. New Jordan started dropping, they copping them 23s. Man, it's popping at the pop-up, they buying up everything like a fiend. They stocking up the 1st and 15th. Running for the money, they hungry, they want the cheese. They addicted to the image, but really diminish. Every day I see them scrolling through my news feed. Lean on the Lambo, lean and say cheese. I'm not trying to judge, you could do your own thing. I'm just trying to inspire them to think differently. Everywhere I go, I'm preaching positivity. Push away the drama, we ain't got no time for tea. I'm not trying to judge, you could do your own thing. I'm just trying to inspire them to think differently. Gucci, Louis, and Balenciaga. These average rappers rap about it, so why even bother? I'd rather rap a chapter of my life and like an author. I can talk about the struggles I've been facing as a father. Or better yet, I'll tell them how I came up from the gutter. Streets of California, welfare with my mother. Used to spare change for my bus fares every summer. Used to tag trains for the fame, natural born hustler. Look, I used to be just like you, dropping $700 on a new pair of shoes. Really, who are we trying to impress for the views, when the one that you should really be looking after is you? Whether you think you can or you can't, man, it's true. Never listen to the haters, stay away from the news. Reinvest into your future, cause you've got nothing to lose. Turn your passion into profits and always have gratitude. Every day I see him scrolling through my news feed. Lean on the Lambo, lean and say cheese. I'm not trying to judge, you could do your own thing. I'm just trying to inspire them to think differently. Everywhere I go, I'm preaching positivity. Push away the drama, we ain't got no time for tea. I'm not trying to judge, you could do your own thing. I'm just trying to inspire them to think differently. Take massive action, ball on the back end. Level up your funnels like the law of attraction. Start a side hustle and they all will be asking. If you got them racks, man, they always be flexing. Flossing they stacks while they dodging the tax man. Watch as they rise and they fall from distractions. Elevate your passions, meditate and practice. Never hesitate when developing daily habits. Look, I'm a freak with my creativity. 50-50 tabs open, I got ADHD. Go, never taking Adderall. No, it's not for me. Nope, I'd rather level up my natural ability. See, we can achieve anything we believe. It's time for us to focus on our vision and our dreams. Stay consistent with efficiency. The possibilities are limitless when we just manifest every day. Every day I see him scrolling through my news feed. Lean on the Lambo, lean and say cheese. I'm not trying to judge, you could do your own thing. I'm just trying to inspire them to think differently. Everywhere I go, I'm preaching positivity. Push away the drama, we ain't got no time for tea. I'm not trying to judge, you could do your own thing. I'm just trying to inspire them to think differently.